Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mark, also known as Holy Demon Hero, and I am here to give you a guide on how to play SevTech Ages mod. This mod is progression based. That means that if you hit L, you can see what your goals are, what you currently have to work on, and you have a few advancements available at the beginning, and the blue ones are not that important. You can see there's some purple ones, and the purple ones are what unlock things. So even though this mod has a lot of mods involved, a lot of them are going to be locked at the beginning when you start, and you have to unlock them with those advancements. At the beginning, you just want to punch some grass and collect plant fibers and pick up sticks and stones. Stones, you see, are spawning on the ground, and you can get sticks also off the ground or by punching leaves. Now, we're not going to be gathering wood quite yet because I'll demonstrate. Punching wood with your bare hands gives you nothing. To collect wood, you actually need to make a flint hatchet, and we get that by making a plant fiber mesh. We combine the plant fiber to make twine, then combine the twine with sticks, and that'll give us our plant fiber mesh. Alright, now the next step is to find some gravel. And looks like we spawned next to a river. That is great. If we're lucky, there will be some gravel here on the shoreline. Sure enough, got some right here. Awesome. That can actually take quite a while to find your first gravel. You're unlucky with your wold spawn, and you don't need a lot, just a little bit. And combining it with the grass fiber mesh, you get flint. At the beginning, that is the only way to get flint. You won't get it from breaking gravel with your hands. Alright, and then the next part is to actually make flaked flint, which we get from knocking the flint against hard blocks like rock. And you can see how I'm skipping some of these rocks on the ground. That's because if the rock doesn't break in a single click, they're actually ore deposits. And we'll get into that later on. Some blocks are hidden at the start of the game, which means they appear as different blocks. And as you progress through your advancement system, those blocks will then convert into what they're supposed to be. In here, there's a zombie nearby, and I'm gonna just avoid it for now. I'm gonna try and see if there's any exposed rock, but like we'll have to dig down a little bit. Actually, go back to that ravine. Maybe there is some. Oop. Want to go there. You can also get plant fiber by breaking grass blocks. There's a chance that twine will be there, although it's not guaranteed. Alright, and then just hitting left click with a flint against hard blocks like rock will break it into flaked flint. We combine the flaked flint with a stick, and gotta make some twine. And this will be our hatchet, and now we can start collecting wood. I'm going to start clearing away area near the water, because water is not an infinite resource, only infinite in ocean and river biomes. So you can't make an infinite water source with 2 buckets. You might later on. Currently we are in age 0. You can see this is all we have. Kind of caveman status. We have to rub 2 sticks together to make fire. And we can't even make a crafting bench. We have to make a chopping block and a work stump. So we're kind of limited. This is not a quick mod. It's very intricate, and it's going to take you much longer to get started than vanilla Minecraft. And I would recommend playing this mod pack with some friends. You can set it so that the entire server is working together on the same progression. That means everyone is working together to move through the ages and eventually explore space. Just going to collect some more wood here. Now, even though I am collecting a bunch of wood, I don't recommend making your first base out of wood. I would recommend waiting until you get a lot of cobblestone to make your base, because a lot of the early on crafting requires open flames, and you don't want your base to burn down. Alright, so I'm going to use a wood block to make a chopping block. This is how we get planks. You put down a chopping block, place a block of wood on it, and then hit it with your hatchet, and you get planks from it. And the number of planks you get is somewhat random. It's, I believe, between 2 and 4, so not as efficient. And so we're going to want to upgrade from that as quick as possible. And you can see I actually just entered stage 0, so I guess that was still in the tutorial session. And we have unlocked a bunch of new things. So we have a kiln, compass, water bladder, grinders, and a chest. Not the chest you would expect. Alright. We're going to use the rest of our flint to make a... Oop. Where'd it go? What the... That's odd. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. Oh, that was weird. Anyway, when you first make a workbench for the first time, you get a crafting rock, but you can also craft one just by putting a rock in the crafting. And both the crafting rock and the crafting table have durability. You want to make sure that doesn't run out. Alright, so we're going to be making a flint pickaxe, because we want to be making cobblestone tools soon. Alright, and then to craft, you just smack it with the crafting rock. You actually use right click. But there we go. Got ourselves a pickaxe. Alright. We're gonna dig in here to hopefully find some cobblestone soon. But we might have to pick a different area. Let's try here. Oh, hello, chicken. Alright, good. Cobblestone. Sorry if it's difficult to see. Torches are also quite expensive to make at this stage. Alright, and now with the cobblestone, we can make ourselves some tools. And those will not be terrible. Okay. We have now a set of all the basic tools, and let's see what would be next in our advancement. I see. Okay, so the next would be making a chest. We can make one right here in the corner. Oh boy, it's dark. Yep, I know. Actually, let me see if I enough to make just one torch. Yep, just a stick and twine. And then we tried to put them on the wall, and oh no, they're not lit. That's because fire isn't free. Gonna have to make ourselves some whittling sticks and then light fire. Huzzah! Right now, despite being torches, fiber torches have a very small range, unlike coal torches in vanilla Minecraft, so not doing much, but at least we can see properly. And we're going to now continue working on making a chest. One more. And that's how you make a chest. 8 planks and a rock in the middle. And there we go, our first chest. And right-clicking on it does nothing. You actually have to go and place the items manually inside. So, yeah, slow beginnings, I realize. The early ages can be very tedious, but as you progress, you notice that those mods that might seem overpowered, they feel more earned. Oh, what to do next? That's right, compass. Alright, nature's compass. So we need a flaked bone, which means we have to go hunting. Now, luckily, makers of this mod realize that early on you're pretty weak, so you don't have to worry about skeletons with bone arrow. Just have to deal with spiders and zombies. Oh no, seems I did encounter a skeleton. Oop. Yes, instead of bone arrows, these skeletons have trumpets to doot you. Does no damage, it just makes your character jump in the air and knock you back a little bit. Alright, now to make flaked bone, same process as with flaked flint. Just smack it against a wall, and sometimes you get flaked flint, that process, or you get a sharp bone, which is actually a better weapon than the sword at the beginning, but if you keep hitting it, you get more flaked bone, and then if you keep on hitting that, you get flaked bone shards, but we don't need any of those right now. You could make a line of bone tools, but we're going to stay with stone for now. Alright, and yep, so and use our crafting rock to bash on the table, and there we go. Very own compass. Now what these compass do is just point towards world spawn originally. If you right click them, you can select darkland biomes, and it'll actually point you towards those biomes. So you can go and explore, and if you do select one of those biomes, you can shift right click, and that'll reset the compass back to your spawn. Very helpful if you get lost, and that's also why I recommend making your base close to your spawn. Got some armor from a zombie. That's good. And let's see what's next in our progression. Alright. Making a hopper. Now let's see if we can actually make a hopper. We need our planks and a chest, so we can actually make that right now. A lot of the early game is not going to be looking for resources, but just progress through the advancement system. You don't have to do the blue ones. Those just help you, in some cases, understand the mods better. What you want to do is progress through the purple ones, as those unlock more crafting recipes. Alright, and that should give us the Whopper. Now the next one will be the Whopper 2.0, but I believe we need some other tools for that, because for one we need cobweb, we need string, also we need bark, which you get for using a flint blade on wooden logs, and you strip the logs. So for now we're just going to put this here. Fortunately, it doesn't really do anything. It's going to sit there, take up space. Alright, well, let's see, the next thing we need would be I guess a working knife, so blade, there we go, a flint work blade. It's going to need more flaked flint, so we have to look for more gravel. We already know that there's some gravel near the water. I can keep hearing that trumpet skeleton, but I can't see it. I am somewhat reluctant to enter the water because one of the mobs they added were piranhas, which can be quite scary. They usually spawn in small groups, and they will even jump onto land and beach themselves and eventually die just to get an extra hit on you. We're just going to collect all the gravel here, and hopefully that'll be enough of our flint needs for a while. Hey, you know what? We have enough for now. We'll leave the rest there. Come back to that later. Alright. We'll use our mesh to sieve through all that gravel, get a whole bunch of flints. And we smack those flints against the wall. And it doesn't seem to work every single time. It's like seems to be like a 1 in 4 chance. Just have to keep clicking. Ah. Alright, that's enough for now. Put away the rest of the blend. Don't need it now. Actually, we're going to turn all of that into twine. As far as I know, there's nothing else you can do with the plant fibers. I've played up until I unlocked Age 1 just to get a feel for the mod. And yeah, I'm glad I played a little bit beforehand before making this video, because it was very confusing. And you can probably tell that this is my first video I've ever made, so pardon me for being a bit nervous and not really sure what to do. Okay, well, now that we have our knife, we can strip bark from the logs, and that'll actually give us not only the bark but also stripped logs. And I think they look kind of goofy. I know I wouldn't really make my base with those, but you can still chop them up the same amount of planks, so you don't actually waste wood in this process. I got our oak bark. We'll put that away for now. We need more string, so hopefully during the night we'll have more. Oh, is that a piranha? Maybe. Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, they're vicious. They will jump onto land. Another use of the work blade is that you can mine leaves and grass much more efficient, and you come across brush, which looks like tall grass, but it slows you when you walk through. You actually get the rush parts. I say parts because you'll see in my inventory we have a lot of different. We have the tips, the stems, the blooming tips, and leaves, and yeah. You also notice there's a bunch of wildflowers. This mod pack comes with the Ferdinand flower mod. Can't really see it now. There we go. Ferdinand's flowers. Really pretty. And it's a very good source of dyes early on, but don't want to fill up our inventory with those quite yet. Just going to take a little step here to the water. And this material right here is mud. You get mud clumps from mining it, which you can make the mud from again. And to dry it, you actually put it near a heat source. If you have it out like that, nothing's going to happen. But if you put it next to a fire, over time it'll start drying and make dried mud bricks or mudstone, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. One thing we can do with all the rush is to make thatching. The thatching is similar to the mud, whereas you have to dry it with fire or any warm. So for now, we're not really going to do anything because we don't have a permanent fire source. We'll get there.